First, let's talk about NATO and what has been happening vis-a-vis United States. Europe's worst nightmare is coming true. Russia's gaining strength. America is pulling back. A major military rejig is shaking the foundations of Europe's security setup. Fewer bombers, fewer warships, fewer American troops on standby. Now, allies across NATO are bracing for what comes next. Take a look.
For decades, Europe's defense strategy rested on one powerful assumption, that when crisis strikes, American military muscle would arrive fast, hard, and in overwhelming force. Now that assumption is facing its biggest test. Behind closed doors, discussions are intensifying across NATO capitals after reports that the US plans to sharply reduce the military assets available to support European allies during future emergencies. Reports suggest US will pull 50% of deep strike capability from Europe. The list is significant. Strategic bombers, fighter jets, warships, mid-air refueling aircraft. Even troop availability could be scaled back under a broader restructuring pushed by the Trump administration. According to reports, Washington is reassessing how much military power it wants permanently tied to Europe as security priorities shift globally. When questioned, NATO chief refuses to reveal the details.
I'm afraid it's much more complicated than that, but it has not to do with the fact that it has nothing to do with what happened over a couple of weeks ago when they announced the number of 5,000 with regard then to Germany. That's totally separate from it. But I cannot say too much because it is highly classified.
European governments are now accelerating defense coordination and military planning. Several nations are already increasing weapons production, strengthening joint exercises. The numbers underline the scale of the challenge. Tens of thousands of US troops remain stationed across Europe with key deployments in Germany, Italy, Turkey and the UK. American air power, naval forces and logistics systems have long formed the backbone of NATO's rapid response capability. With European nations refusing to join the American forces in the Iran war, Trump's angst is only increasing. Ever since coming to power in his second term, the US president has been pushing the European nations to spend more on defense, saying the US can't always be there. The situation is unique. Military muscle can't be built overnight. It needs years of planning and resources. Bureau Report, WION World is One.